the Astros reproduce? When Steak asked this question, Boom didn't answer with just anyway. And instead of that, he replied, first they gotta lock in, but the rest is, and then send an image informing Steak that he entered to the spoiler territory. And for good reason, because if we find the truth, we will not only have knowledge about how the Astros reproduce, but also break down deeper lore and understand how and why the Astros attacked the Earth, and how what you see now is the result of a plan written throughout the history of the conflict, even though the real answer to Steak question may be a bit different than you think. And it's so important that you can change the way that you perceive the Astros. We already have enough hints to find the truth, and today we will break them down step by step. So sit comfortable and watch this video through to the very end to avoid missing any of the most crucial details. Before all that, make sure to like and subscribe if you agree that Skibidi Toilet haters are brain rot. In Skibidi Toilet episode 74, we can see that G-Toilet, the leader of Skibidi Toilets, was an Astro Toilet himself. And if we look closely at his core, we can notice that it's extremely similar to the infected Titan TV man's core. So they shared the same fate. Both of them were infected by Astros and forced to fight for their army. This shows that one of the Astro methods for reproduction is core infection. But did all of the Astros suffer the same fate? When we look at the rest of them, things become much more complicated. Some of them look very different from the others. For example, Juggernaut and his children look more like dogs, while G-Toilet and the Duchess look more like humans. Why? Because as Boom officially confirmed, Astros already took over many planets. When they conquered them, Astros weren't just always killing other species living there. Instead of that, they were infecting the local species and forcing them to fight alongside the Astro army. So they probably infected Juggernaut and some other Astros in their army in brutally ways similar like they did to G-Toilet and Titan TV Man. Many of them even still have cores after the infection like the Astro Destructors, but almost all transform their forms through the upgrades, as the Duchess did between episodes 76 and 77. And this is the horrifying truth of their expansion. Many Astros are still slightly different from the others because they serve as a chilling reminder of the forgotten species from conquered planets. And what about the Astros, who never had cores even before their infection? How did they become infected? The Astros' invasion on Earth holds the answer. While most viewers think they first attacked in episode 74, the truth is much different. Astros actually attacked much earlier, but more from the shadows, with fewer results and a very different plan. Boom confirmed that the toilet from episode 13, which also appeared in episode 5, was an Astro Toilet. This revelation means that Astros were on Earth from the very beginning. This is just the first unsettling piece of a much larger, darker puzzle. But did you ever wonder how similar the Astros and Skibidi Toilets are? In episode 76, a dialogue in Skibidi language between the Duchess and the UFO Toilet provided a crucial hint. This exchange strongly suggested that Astros and Skibidi Toilets are extremely similar. They both knew the Skibidi language and using it in strikingly similar way. And this striking similarity in behavior is much more than just a coincidence. It's the first thread connecting two seemingly separate forces. So keep all these pieces in mind as I explain more to reveal the full picture. Another crucial piece appeared much earlier in the series. In episodes 8 and 10, we can clearly see that Skibidi Toilets weren't attacking our POV. This means that in the earlier episodes, Skibidi Toilets were largely passive, though they sometimes jump-scared our POV with their heads. And what I'm about to reveal soon will completely explain this strange behavior. But Skibidi Toilets weren't attacking only cameramans. In episode 9, we clearly saw that they weren't attacking people too. Humans were ignoring the toilets, as if nothing was happening, or even dancing. That clearly means that something was wrong, because why humans didn't fight back or even react to these strange creatures? Episode 74, yep, the same episode when we learned about G-Toilet's past, holds another crucial answer. In this episode, we saw a group of surviving people, but everything seemed wrong. Like, what is this guy doing? In the background, Skibidi song was playing, and the humans were smiling like the Skibidi Toilets, and even attacked our POV. The people seen here were in the very early stages of transforming into Skibidi Toilets. We got another piece of the puzzle when Shadow TV Man declared,
"Their brains rotten. Burn everyone."
This confirms that Skibidi Toilets were infecting people through their song, and during this infection process, People's brains were rotting, causing them to ignore the Skibidi Toilets in earlier episodes or even make incredibly stupid decisions, like dancing in the middle of the city. But the true depth of this infection and what it truly means for humanity is far more terrifying than you can imagine, and the crucial will be the eternal question that worries many. Can Skibidi Toilets be cured and became humans again? When someone asked this question to Boom, he replied mysteriously, "After the transformation, you can only evolve into something better." This clearly means, no, you can't become human again. But this question is even more important than it seems, because its answer holds a second, hidden, but even more crucial meaning, a final piece of our puzzles. Remember how we discovered that Skibidi Toilets are extremely similar to Astro Toilets. So, what could it mean that Astro Toilets are simply a better version of Skibidi Toilets? And do you also remember that Astros were on Earth from the very beginning of the series? So now we can put all the pieces together and finally understand the full picture. The Astros from those early episodes, along with G-Toilet, came to Earth to spread the Skibidi infection among humanity. Their ultimate plan was to evolve these Skibidi Toilets into something better, namely Astro Toilets, by giving them upgrades, just as they likely did with other Astros we analyzed earlier in this video. So the second method of the Astro Toilet's reproduction is the virus infection. But what about Alliance members like Cameraman? They can't be infected by the song. So hold on, because if you thought we were already deep, you're not ready for what's coming. But first, we need to explain something. Do you remember when we mentioned that Skibidis were sometimes attacking Cameramans? That's because infection didn't work on them, so the Skibidis were attacking them manually. What's important is that the Cameraman's resistance to the song infection almost ruined the Astros' initial infection plan. But did you know that the Astros were also trying to infect Alliance members in a different way? Not directly with the song, but by using a previously created army of Skibidi Toilets. And what was their secret weapon? Parasite technology. In episode 30, we saw this technology for the first time. Back then, everyone thought it was invented by Scientist Toilet, but in episode 77, it became clear that this technology originally belonged to the Astros. This reveals that they are able to change and adapt their technology to the conditions of the conquered planets. And soon you will understand how all of this hides a much bigger connection to the earlier Astros infection discussed in the earlier part of this video. But first, who gave it to the scientist? One episode before episode 30, the glitch toilet appeared. It can be none other than him who gave the scientist the parasites. This crucial transfer armed the Skibidi faction with a powerful new tool directly from the Astros. So they knew that they couldn't infect everyone with the Skibidi song, and they tasked the Skibidi Toilets and their remaining units on Earth, like G-Toilet, who also started the Skibidi infection on Earth, with infecting all the Alliance members. Their primary goal was to infect all Alliance members, but they recognized that Titans had the most potential to become the most powerful warriors for the Astros later on. At first, everything went according to plan. They successfully infected Titan Speaker Man. But later, G-Toilet failed to infect Titan TV Man in a direct fight. But the next failure with Titan Cameraman resulted in Titan Speaker Man becoming free from his infection. This failure likely enraged the Astros and perhaps even foreshadowed their next move. Remember in episode 57, where we briefly saw a billboard with the word betrayal? After this infection plan failed, the Astros decided to betray G-Toilet in episode 60. In that same episode, we stopped watching the real G-Toilet and started seeing his clone until episode 65. This suggests that G-Toilet probably knew about the harsh Astro conditions and that his failures wouldn't go unpunished. So he became ready for the Astro betrayal. So that's why he decided to make himself a clone to avoid the consequences. That's why the Astro detainer said about treason to G-Toilet in episode 72 by saying, Astro's rage here is justified because they were extensively planning Titan Cameraman infection behind the scenes, in places where any cameraman couldn't go to and record it. But for now, you don't need to know all the details. If you want, subscribe, and we will dive into analyzing these hidden plans deeper in another video. But now, did you know that Astros are pursuing a really similar parasite infection strategy right now, but in a more brutal way? This time, their plan is to infect all Titans and not waste infection resources on smaller, the Alliance members. Astro's already infected Titan TV Man. They're using weaker troops to lure more the Alliance soldiers. After luring a larger, the Alliance force, Astros then send their almost the stronger soldiers, powerful enough to make the Alliance Titan want to intervene to save his friends and go to the battlefield, and then send one of their strongest troops to make the Titan weaker and then infect him. This is exactly how they infected Titan TV Man in episode 77. So, the third Astro Toilet's way to reproduce is really similar to the first one from the beginning of this video, parasite technology. That demonstrates that Astros have a terrifying ability to adapt their technology to the conditions and inhabitants of a given planet. But did you know that even the Duchess herself was also infected? In extra scene from season 25, G-Toilet mentioned that he also saw his children in suffer and was also unable to help. But who can be this child in suffer? Only one person can be, the Astro Duchess. And there is a very popular theory that is confirming that. It's supported by the evidence such as crazy mode that have only the Duchess had in episode 76 and G-Toilet in 72, or that the G-Toilet said,
You have no idea what's coming.
And the Duchess said really similar.
Fools. You have no idea who's coming.
Everything connects together when Juggernaut said that someone that G-Toilet knows is there too. Also knowing that G-Toilet was infected by Astro, and from experience from Titan TV Man, who was crying during the infection, we know that you are still aware while being under Astro's infection, but you cannot control your body. Also knowing previous information about the infection from the earlier part of the video, and one again that the Astros already took over many planets, we can figure out that G-Toilet became infected first on his planet when Astros invaded him. And after that, they captured the Duchess and infected her. And this was this child in suffer that G-Toilet was talking about. He was unable to help because he was already in the Astro Toilet's control, and he can't control his body. He could only watch how the Duchess was becoming infected. So the Astros reproduce by infecting residents of the different planets by the different ways. But did you ever wonder how the G-Toilet became free from the Astro infection in the first place? Click on video on screen to find out all the truth.